How do I get my puppy to stop going after my other dogs?
It just goes back again to that whole, thing that I was saying earlier, that if you have your puppy and your puppy actually is going after your other dogs, how are they being managed? And are you going to let the other dogs actually correct your puppy for their exuberant behavior? Look, I'm going to tell you this, and this is not right or wrong. This is the way that I do it, and there's definitely other ways to do it. I take away from all my adult dogs the ability to growl at dogs inside of our pack. I teach them very early on that if you growl at my puppy, that you're going to get in trouble for that. However, I'm also going to teach my puppies that you are not to mess with my adult dogs. So the question is, well, how do I do that? Well, I really got to get to know the dog. I can prevent it pretty easily. I can put the dog in a crate. I can, I can play just these games where I'm managing dogs and circling them around the house. But the thing is, I just get to know the dog, and I get to know, like, hey, you don't like whenever I do this when you go after my other dog. So the way that a dog would probably bite another dog as a correction, not to eat them, but to say, like, hey, you're exceeding the boundary, I might do something similar, not with my teeth, but with some kind of training collar that would be meaningful for that particular dog. And one of the things that I like to do when my dogs start getting the inkling of that, my favorite thing to do to these dogs is to play with one while the other dog is staying. So for every single one of you guys that has, if you're married, if you have kids, if you've got any other humans inside of your home, here's a great way to get the family involved. If you have multiple dogs, put one dog on their place, okay, and have a human hold the leash slack while that dog is on their place. And then that person's job is to put the dog back on their place every time they get off, while your other family members actually end up playing with the dog. And then switch. And get really good at that switch of, having one dog playing with the other family members and the other dog having to wait, or the other dogs having to wait, and then bring another dog in and then show them that. And if you do that, you'll create a lot of respect for yourself, and your dogs will delight in you because they'll understand that you're worth playing with, you're worth being respected, and they'll love you for it.